Hey everyone, this is Chef. Welcome back to Uma. Today, we're going to start with the Champions meeting, since the first round of Sagittarius Cup is open. In the last video, we put together a special week to compete in the open rounds, where our max rating is B. We only really have two runners that are going to work well here. It's going to be our special week that we made, and then it's also going to be this Super Creek that is one of our long runners. For our third slot, I'm just going to throw our Majiro Ryan run in there, and we're going to see how it does. And then depending on results, we may work on a second CM runner later on in the weekend. But for now, we're just going to load up what we've got for our team of three, and we're going to see how it goes. So I really have no expectations here. I've never done open group before. I'm usually doing graded instead, and I've never really built a purpose-built B rank runner, so I'm curious to see how this does. We're going to watch the first race in full, just to see how we perform and what our strengths and weaknesses are looking like, and then we're going to skip the other four, and we're going to see how they go. The other two rounds I'll probably just end up doing off camera. I think we should get a decent feel for how this team of three is looking just based off of doing one run. So the special week is number 1 favorite, which is a nice sign. Greek is number 3. Ryan is number 5. Let's see how we're looking against some other runners here. This McQueen is not at 901 stam, but probably has enough stamina between 673 Gorman stamina to spare and 2 ranks of standard distance, so that's probably a runner that gets to the end. This El Condor Pasa might struggle quite a bit. It's only 3 white recoveries and only 557. I don't think that one's making it to the finish. This winning ticket is definitely making it to the finish, and yeah, it's probably making it to the finish. They've got 3 recoveries and 909, and they're also above the 901 stat threshold, so this seems like somebody who knows what they're doing. A C plus seems like it's just something that they threw in. A C, it seems like it's something they just threw in. And then this Suzuka, there's no shot. She has enough stamina to finish. So we should be able to beat half of the people in this lobby just by virtue of building the stamina threshold for the Arima, which is a pretty good sign. But let's see how things actually play out in practice. We've got plenty of triggers off of our runners. Ryan had a late start, but that's really not a huge problem when she's a late surger. And we're really not worried about that Suzuka at all because she's not going to have enough stamina to finish the race. We're expecting that Special Week is probably going to do the best here because she's purpose-built, but hey, technically the Super Creek does have more stats. She has a slightly higher rank, so I could be surprised here. We'll see. But Majiro McQueen has gotten a couple stamina triggers. Creek being rushed really does not matter. She has so much extra stamina just by virtue of being able to run Clear Heart. We're actually so far ahead that we just hit a pace down, and we're probably going to hit another one here. No, we're past the pace down line. That's beautiful. So Special Week is just going to go running off into the distance. I don't remember if her unique requires her to overtake somebody or not. That's something that I should probably double check, because she may actually be too far out ahead to trigger her unique right now. Pulling it up in another window. Shooting Star does require her to pass somebody, so she's going to miss her unique here, but she is going to get head on at a perfect time. Ryan's going to hit Nimble Navigator at a perfect time. Ryan's going to hit Feel the Burn at a good time. So that's going to be a lot of acceleration for her coming from the back. This looks like a fairly good lead for a Special Week right now, though. Creek hitting Adrenaline Rush means that she's below 30% right now, but she did rush this race, so I don't think that's a huge problem. I think Special Week has this, no question. Alright, that's an encouraging start to our CM aspirations here. Let's see how the other 4 rounds go. We're not going to watch every single race, because that's going to be 5 minutes per round, and we need to do 15 of them. It's going to be basically an entire video by itself. So we'll watch the first one for the day, we'll skip through the other 4, and then I'll just do the other ones off camera. Or, I don't know, if you want to see every single one of them, let me know. But I feel like many of them are going to look very similar. Our special week is number 3 favorite this time. We have no frontrunners in the lobby. What else are we dealing with? We're dealing with a Rudolph that does not have enough stamina. We're dealing with a Rice Shower that does not have enough stamina. We're dealing with a Meisho Doto that does not have enough stamina. Did anybody bring enough stamina to finish this race? I don't think so. No, that's still not going to be enough, because 900 and a gold is the threshold. 682 and a gold is not going to cut it. This should be an extremely easy lobby to win if we are confident in our stamina threshold calculations that we made. But it's always possible that I could be wrong. We'll see. That Teo may actually have enough stamina to finish. Huh. That's interesting. Did I miss something in how I was calculating that stamina? I'm gonna have to go and take a look at those runners again. Or maybe it's the case that Special Week got rushed. That is also a possibility. But what am I overlooking here? It's not a recovery unique. 682. This would be 882. This would be like 950. I guess it's pretty close. Interesting. I thought I was going to do much better in that lobby than we actually did. It's possible that there's something obvious that I'm missing and I'm just too tired to recognize it. It is like 2:10 a.m. right now and I'm recording this. It was a fairly long day, so maybe there's something obvious that I'm just overlooking there. But on paper, that looked like a lobby that was going to be a very easy win for us because we hit our stamina thresholds and it didn't look like they didn't, but maybe they did. So we've got number 1 favorite in the lobby. There is another Creek that is only 578, but can probably get there. There's a Grass Wonder that can definitely get there with a recovery. So U00 is definitely just building to bring stamina recovery runners. And then what did they do for their Mayano? 578 and 2 whites. That they may have a little trouble with. And then Yorito definitely looks like they know what they're doing. 830 and a gold. This is 788 and a gold. And this is 465 and 2 whites. That's a little odd. But they're a front runner, so maybe they're trying to run like a blocker or something like that. Let's find out. That's looking pretty good. That is a special week just running off into the sunset. I don't think there's any way anybody catches her from that far back. Okay, so that takes us to 2-1. One more win and we qualify for A round 2. Which would be nice. In addition to just like getting good rewards from these boxes, it would qualify us for A round 2. And Special Week is definitely the strongest runner that we have on this team. She has been the lead runner for every single race so far, which makes sense because we built her for this specifically. We did not build Creek or Ryan for this specifically. Special Week is number 1 favorite again. We're dealing with somebody who's definitely building towards stamina. They might have enough. This definitely has enough. 2 golds long S is a very scary gold ship. That might end up being a problem. This McQueen can maybe finish. No golds, but quite a bit of stamina. I think that Rudolph is going to struggle. I think this Grass Wonder is going to struggle. I think this nice Nature is probably going to struggle. I think for the most part, we've been able to dodge people who are also building min-max runners, which is nice. That gold chip is really scary. That's the one we need to keep an eye on, because she's going to have a much higher top speed than Special Week is coming into the end of this race. Yeah, I think she's going to get it. That's a well-built gold chip. I can't be mad about that. Well done. And then we've got one more shot. I mean, we have more than one shot, but one more shot to actually qualify for Group A, like, on camera. I think it's entirely possible that we will manage to get our way into Group A across the next 2 days of rounds. So it's today and tomorrow, and there's 15 up to 20 races that we could do total to have a shot at doing that. It's no question in my mind that we will be able to qualify for A round 2. Our Special Week is #1 favorite. That's not looking stammed enough. That's maybe looking stammed enough. That's maybe looking stammed enough. This is another really well-built gold chip, so this is a little scary. Lots of power. Speed is a little low, but straightaway spurt, tail held high. That's a lot of skills that could be triggering late race. This Tachyon probably has enough stam, even if they're only at 542. This gold chip does not look as good. It's missing straightaway spurt, and it probably doesn't have enough stamina to finish. This Ryan can probably get there, but they're missing a lot of the good late surger skills. They don't have, like, outer swell or anything like that. We have a decent shot at winning this lobby, I think. The big thing we need is for our Special Week to not get nominated as frontrunner. So I'm actually just going to see what happens with that. I'd love for Creek to get nominated as front. But I think it's going to be Special Week. No, it's going to be somebody else's Ryan. That rocks. Okay. So we should be able to trigger a unique here as we pull off a pass in late race. There's head on. I think she can maybe chase that. No, that gold chip is moving so much faster. That's a quick gold chip. Yeah, not quite enough. So that's going to put us to 2 and 3. But I absolutely think that we should be able to pull off a 3-win or better somewhere in these next 2 sets. But it's already been 12 minutes into our recording, 13 minutes into our recording, so I'm going to do the rest of those off camera, and we're going to move on to our next task for the day. I don't think I'm going to build another CM runner. I think our Special Week looks like she's doing well enough. We may work on one over the weekend, but for tonight, just to keep this a little on the shorter side, I'm just going to work on a Team Trials runner. And I think what I'm going to do specifically is fill this second sprint slot with King Halo, now that we have a King Halo. So, King Halo has a difficult career. Probably the most difficult career out of... Can I not see your career from here? I thought I could. Probably the most difficult career out of any of the 1-star and 2-star trainees. She is a sprinter. She sprint A, mile B, medium B, long C. Pace B, late A means she wants to be a late surger. But the problem with King Halo is that she has the career of a medium distance runner through junior and classic year, and then she decides to be a sprinter in year 3. Which means that for her career, if we just go into career and set her career up quick so that we can actually see her career goals, she is going to be running in some very funky races for a sprinter. She runs the Hopeful Stakes in junior. She runs the full gamut of Triple Crown races, including the 3,000 meter Kikuta show. And then it's only at the end of her career that she decides she wants to be a sprinter. This is a sprint. This is a mile. This is a sprint. And then she runs the Tenno show at the end of her career, which is, again, a medium. So her career goals are all over the place, which makes her really complicated to build as a sprint runner, because you don't want to invest stamina in a sprint runner, but you want to invest stamina into getting her to clear her career goals. The best way that I've found to handle that personally is by inheriting stamina, because we inherit stamina before we run all of our Triple Crown races, And then if we're inheriting stamina, we don't actually need to bring any stamina in our deck. So if we look for parents, we're going to look for Sprint Sparks specifically. I don't think I have a runner with all these combinations, so let's just ignore Blue Sparks and grab our Sprint Sparks that we have. It's this Taiki Shuttle, which is 1 power, 2 sprint, or it's this Haru, which is 2 power, 2 sprint. I think this is quite a bit better. We're not going to use Mile Corners, but we are going to use Nimble Navigator, Slick Surge, and Corner Adapt if we get them. So this Haru is going to come in, and then we want something extremely specific that we're going to go to Umamusume for. We want a 9-star stamina parent that has medium and sprint sparks. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find that, but I want to try and get medium to A so that I have an easier time of clearing career races, while also getting sprint to S to make a stronger sprint runner for team trials. So I'm going to go pop Uma.moe open, and I'm going to see if I can find that. Alright, so we're on Uma.moe, and incredibly I've actually found a number of runners that fit our criteria. We have 16 total results here. So we're looking for 9-star stamina specifically. We're looking for just the presence of medium sparks, because all we need to do is bump our aptitude from B to A, and then we want everything else to be in sprint. Ideally, this would be like, 6-star sprint, the 1-star medium or something like that. We can't get that. The best we can do is 3. But this is a fairly interesting inheritance. So it's 9 stam, 3 medium, 3 sprint. It does have Halo in the tree, which is unfortunate, but it comes with ramp up and tail held high. It would be okay, but I'd really rather try and build more inheritance with people who aren't King Halo in the affinity tree. In this case, we can grab stamina, sprint, medium, front runners there, but we don't really care about that. The upshot is that we get corner adapt and we get URA finale hints, which are quite nice and I like a lot. So we're going to grab this inheritance. We're going to pop back into Uma, and we are going to see if this person has room on their friends list. They do. So we're going to grab that Maruzenski. We're not really going to get a lot of value out of the unique skill in this case. Redshift is not really going to be something that's very good on King Halo because she wants to run as a late surger. However, we are going to get exactly the pink sparks that we want out of this. We're going to go to medium A, and we're also going to get a mountain of stamina to inherit, which is going to help us hit our stat thresholds for sprinters specifically. Then we need to think about deck. So this is the current sprint team trials deck that we were using. We're not going to be able to bring King Halo, but what we can do is just bring Vodka instead. We are going to be borrowing Kitasan here because we want speed. We don't need a stamina card though. And in this case, I would much rather this be a wit card. Now, if we had better wit cards, I think we could bring 2 or even 3 of them as a sprinter. But in this case, because I do want some amount of stamina in order to clear my career in the first place, I am fine with bringing 2 power cards. Although I actually think that last time we did this Daitaku Helios SSR comparison, it was not favorable. And I would be willing to bet that this 2LB Hishi Amazon is probably better. So we'll go level this up. And then we'll do a quick and dirty comparison just to make sure. And we'll just look at it in-game. We're not going to pull up the game Toro compare tool or anything. So this is 42 spec priority, 27 friendship bonus, 35 mood effect. This is only 30 spec priority, 27 45. So slightly higher mood effect, but the same friendship bonus, actually less friendship bonus because Hishi Amazon has the friendship bonus as the unique perk. Daitaku does not, and also worse specialty priority. So our SR Hishi Amazon in this case is going to be a decent margin better than that Daitaku Helios. L, I don't need to worry about. I know that this is a strong power card, even at 0 LB. Biko's also kind of convenient here because Biko comes with a sprint skill specifically. We're not necessarily going to be towards the front upon approaching late race, so it's not something we're going to buy, but Biko is going to be handy if we do decide to build some frontrunner sprinters later. So I think this is going to be our deck. I don't need Rico here. We're not actively looking for stamina above maybe 400 by the end of the career, so Rico is just going to bring too much stamina for that. We're going to try and make do with a bunch of speed and a little bit of wit. So let's jump in. Stat targets for sprint team trials. We only need about 450 stamina, period. And given that we're running as a late surger, we really could probably just get away with 200, or 400 if we wanted to. We want to cap speed, obviously. We want power as high as it can go. And then relative to other runners, we actually don't mind stats winding up in guts and wit, because there's just not anywhere else efficient to put our stats. We don't need to build stamina, which means that we can afford to spread our stats out to things over on the right side of the bar. We've got 1, 1, and 1 for spirit trainings. None of those look amazing. I actually would be fine taking a recreation here just to get our mood up early. I would not mind taking power because I think we're going to focus pretty heavily on speed. I wouldn't mind taking extra energy and mood. That's perfect for us, so we're already a great mood. It's an okay guts training. It's a better wit training. We'll just take the wit. We have Rico with us, but we're not really going to be using that. I don't think we need to gamble on slow metabolism here. We're not going to totally fill our energy up, but we're pretty close as is. I don't think I need to be super greedy. That's a wonderful stamina training. Just because we don't want stamina doesn't mean that we're never going to train it. If it's efficient for building friendships and gives us a little bit of spirit training, we're still going to do it. Good energy recovery, good mood up. An okay guts training. I don't mind taking that. There's no real spirit trainings anywhere else. Also, it's a Haru speed training, which has very marginal benefits for us when we get to the end of the year and we need to win our first round of the Unity Cup. But I would like to roll on wit here if I could. This power is probably technically better because it builds a little extra friendship with L via the hint. I'm getting worried about how little we've trained stamina so far, though. Or, speed, specifically. We probably want to look for opportunities to do that. In this case, I really don't think any of these trainings are worth spending energy on. And this wit, I just don't think does enough for us relative to just taking a full rest. So let's get that out of the way, refill all of our energy, and then really try and hammer some speed trainings if we can. That's a better guts training than a speed training. I have to take that for friendship and spirit training. But if I have tiebreakers, my tiebreaker is going to speed every single time. It's not very good. That's quite good. We'll take that. I just get one good spirit training before debut, so I feel a little better. We're not going to need mile corners. Even though it gives speed, we're not going to need mile corners, so I'm just going to take max energy and power. It's an okay spirit training. I still don't really think I can justify it over it's an okay speed training, but I can't justify it over taking spirit trainings. Spirit trainings are just going to push us further in our career. So if we lose this debut because we only trained speed like one time, so be it. It's a problem we can fix later. But I think we've taken the best training every time, even if the distribution has been a little wonky. We don't need to buy any of those. So we'll just go into the debut. We basically only have the option to run as a late surger. We could try pace, but I'll just stick with late, and if we get blocked, we get blocked. We still managed to win the debut, even with speed concerns, so that's nice. And then we really gotta hammer speed if we want to finish the hopeful stakes. Win the hopeful stakes, but also finish it. Stamina does not need a lot more help to get to where it needs to go. You only need like 200 or so to finish the hopeful stakes, so we really just need to focus on stamina, on speed, and that's it. We're never going to buy stamina to spare, so we'll just take the energy out of this. Speed training? It's an okay speed training. That's an okay speed training to take. We have no spirit trainings, and we can build friendship. This is a better wit training, so we have to take that, but it does build speed a little bit. Can't help but notice that our spirit trainings are kind of drying up a little bit as well. We'll take wit here because I'm expecting my spirit sparks to do most of the work for building our stamina. That's a great power training. We take that for friendship and spirit training. It's even got Biko there, which is great. It's 1, 2, 1. We could probably go... We shouldn't. We should go Biko here because it builds Biko's friendship and it has spirit training. Like, this is very slightly better, but it does only build Kita-san's friendship. And I would rather work on Biko first, because she's got a much longer way to go. There's our hint for killer tunes that we're never going to use. A good spirit training on speed. We love this. Let's also switch over to our agenda. End closer straight's not something we're going to be using. We don't need Matikane's name, so we'll just stick with Team Carrot, because we wouldn't mind getting Nimble Navigator here. Practice Perfect is fine, but not something I'm necessarily excited about. Good stamina training. Okay power training. But probably a better stamina training, because I don't necessarily want stats in power right now, and it does less for building friendships. It only works on Kita-san, whereas this works on 3 supports that still need friendship work. We'll take stamina here. I would love to burst on wit this turn, if possible. Oh, that's a really good speed training. 18 is steep, though. I really want that training, though. So if we fail this training, we rest November early. And if we get practice poor, we might even need to go to the infirmary. Oh, the stakes for failing this training are so bad. But we're only 1 in 5 to fail it. Nah, I'm not going to do it. I think it's too risky. I'm just going to take a full rest. That's really unfortunate. If I was braver, I could have taken that training. But I am not brave. These are all basically the same training. I'll just take the wit because it works on Biko's friendship. I can't help but feel like I've been slightly punished for poor energy management earlier in the run on that. That's 2, that's 2, that's just a burst on power. Power is not really my burst priority here. My burst priority is speed and wit. So we're going to let the burst on power slide, and we're just going to take a good speed training. And then we're going to think about the possibility of running one of the mild G1s today, depending on how these trainings look. That's actually a pretty good power training. That's a pretty good guts training. That's an okay wit training. How much do I care about 19 and 7 on a power training? That also pushes Kita-san to Spirit Burst. Versus just building friendships. I can't help but feel like friendships and spirit trainings are probably more important right now. So I'm going to take the guts over the power. We're going to run the hopeful stakes, and then we'll get energy recovery back next turn. We're definitely going to get... We need to get mood back next turn. We need to recreate next turn. So these are a little bit sketchy for stats going into the hopeful stakes. Our power is fine, which we appreciate as a late surger. Stamina is not exactly where we wanted to get it, and speed is low. I would love to swap power and speed here, and I would feel a lot more comfortable with this race. Normal mood is also not a great sign. but apparently it doesn't matter at all. Sure, I'll take that. That was not a race that I was expecting to win, but I'm happy to win it. And now we head into the weird part of Halo's career, where we need to run the Triple Crown. We have one E rank runner. We have us on sprint. Haru still F on dirt. This is not looking great. I would still... maybe... Nah, I should take the safe option here. We haven't even used a burst yet. So let's take the safe option on our first race, and then we'll take top on every option after that. Okay. 4-0-1 is a pretty good indication that we were stronger than what Tizuna's prediction suggested, but I don't like taking top team in the first round of the Unity Cup if I haven't even used a burst yet. Just doesn't feel right. So we'll go ahead and take energy. And then unless the trainings are good, I would really like to recreate here. That's not a burst on a stat we want. That's not a good spirit training. This looks like a perfect turn to rest. Let's get back up to good. We should be able to pick up a great from somewhere else. We still have a lot of Kitasan events floating around in the deck that we could use for that. It's an okay rainbow training, it's okay stam training, okay guts training, a really good wit training, and I don't mind bursting on wit, so I think I'm happy to do this. It puts Matikane to rainbow, which means that we can start getting extra energy out of rainbow wit trainings when we don't have anything better to do. Mile straightaway is not a hint we're going to be using. Rainbow speed, good rainbow speed. This is exactly the kind of training that we're looking for. Go ahead and take that. This is mood up. That's also good. That's a really strong power training in terms of raw numbers, but I'm not thrilled to take it. I mean, I guess it's fine. Like, it doesn't build any friendships, but most of our friendships should be getting pretty close to gold anyway right now. It builds Kitasan and puts her to Spirit Burst specifically. It's technically fewer Spirit Burst than on something like Wit, but we're getting 12 stats out of this, and we're getting 36 out of this training. I think we just have to take the training that gives us big number in this case, because that's a big stat discrepancy. End Closer Savvy I also don't need. We've gotten crazy hints for an End Closer so far, but that's not what we do. Astral Gambit is also an end closer skill. Oh, okay, how bad are you at end closing? D? Yeah, it's not gonna work. Power is not what we want to burst on. Stamina is definitely not what we want to burst on. This is fine for a wit burst. I don't mind getting a pile of energy out of it. It just makes it easier to grab other trainings later. Sprint straightaways is the kind of stuff we're looking for. Okay. So we get one more training here, and then we're going to inherit all of the stamina that's going to get us to stam threshold for the Satsuki show. Average rainbow training versus burst on wit. I would rather start bursting on speed, because wit is almost as high as speed is right now. So let's let the burst on wit roll. We'll take the speed training. We can still train safely next turn on late April after we're done with our career goal. And then we'll see what we get out of this inheritance specifically. 60 stamina? That's pretty good. It's still a little lower than I would like going into a... Satsuki shows a medium, right? You a medium race? Yeah, it's lower than I would like going into a 2,000 meter race, and we don't have any recoveries, but it's alright. It's the best we can do so far. We have an okay chunk of guts that might get us through as well. Okay, sure. I don't totally understand how this Halo is winning races right now, but she is. We do need to prioritize even more stamina when we get to the Derby, though, because that's a 2400. And then we need to prioritize even more when we get to the Kikukusho because that is a 3000. Now that said, I'm still going to take this burst on speed because I don't want to waste bursts on stamina. If we don't win the derby, that's fine. Our goal here is not to win the derby. Our goal here is to build a sprinter for team trials. I wish that I had the energy to take that power training. That's not a good wit training. I'll take a full rest here. The derby's going to be shaky. And I know that we said that about the Hopeful Stakes and the Satsuki show, but this is going to be rougher than the other two. That's pretty scary, and not having double circle on speed is pretty scary. We're also second favorite. Yeah, that's more in line with how I was expecting we would do. And also lacking guts to sustain run towards the end of the race probably means we have a minor stamina issue. Tazuna's telling us that if we had more guts, we would have had enough stamina to finish the race, but if we had more stamina, we also would have had enough stamina to finish the race. So, we're going to need to try and find about 130 before we get to the Kikukusho. Our best way of doing that is probably just training power, because we're going to get incidental stamina out of that, and then we may take one stamina burst over summer break, although I'd really like to avoid it if possible. This speed training is okay, and this is really not an amazing power training either. 27% friendship bonus, 15, this is why. Well, no, it should be 35. I don't know, it seems like a disappointing power training. It's level 3. Hey, all these trainings are a little lackluster. I really shouldn't be prioritizing this training right now, though. I should still be prioritizing spirit training. And also, power's so higher. I'm taking speed. All that to say, I'm going to take a speed training because our speed training is really falling behind at this point. This is a free mood up with some energy. More than happy to take that. If I can train wit this turn, I would love to. Not a good enough stam training. That's another really good power training. And this time Biko's here to help out with another 10% training effectiveness, which is why it's 31 and 12 instead of what it was last turn. I don't think I can say no to that. I think we're going to have to commit to resting once in summer break, but that's about as good as our power trainees can be, spring or a summer break or not, so we might as well grab it. Got a handful of D rank runners. Mile is really starting to fall behind, and sprint is a bit of a problem, but we have 3 solid distances that we should be able to take care of ourselves on. Medium, long, dirt. And then if we can handle ourselves on those, it doesn't matter what happens on the 2 weak ones. If not, we can hope for a draw. Those are the 2 we expected to lose and the 3 we expected to win. But we definitely need a way to work on both ourselves as well as our mile runners. Which is really just going to come down to more spirit bursts. Burst on wit is exactly what I'm looking to do right now. It gives us a big chunk of energy back. It works on speed a little bit. It also has a pretty good margin of spirit training there, and it consumes a unity burst. I'm more than happy to do that. We're up to team rank C. I don't mind this speed training either. We can still safely train in the next 2 turns. And if we want to take a rest early August, we could to get the full 40 energy back. We could also just take a wit if we wanted to. It's a fine speed training, but not one I'm going to gamble on for 12%. That's also not a great wit training, so I think I'm fine to just get 40 energy back here. It's not an ideal use of time during spring break, but we did take a good power training going into spring break, or summer break, to make it happen in the first place, so it's kind of the way it is. It's a pretty good power training. The idea of moving Biko to Rainbow is enticing, though. Nothing else here really looks that good. I mean, our power's crazy. Maybe we should have brought 4 speed, 1 power. I think this is another case of me just forgetting to check what my trainee growth bonuses were, because it's definitely way more power than we need, and speed is falling behind a bit. I think we can fix it if we just start aggressively bursting on speed. So let's make a concerted effort. Well, or we could just take double rainbows on speed. We passing up on anything? We're not even passing up on anything to take that. This is a little bit of a problem, though, because we're only at 309. We'd really like to be closer to 400 for that. I think I can afford to take this training just to move Biko to gold. It also puts Taiki into Spirit Burst range. And then if this is a burst on stamina, I would take it. Basically only on this turn, and never again. It's not. It's an interesting guts training, but I don't think I'm going to take it. It's an interesting power training, but I don't think I'm going to take it. This might just be a rest so that we can handle the last 4 turns in the year. Alright. This is going to be a little shaky again, but if we can simply survive this race, I think we're good for everything else. We could pick up a small breather. I really don't want to. But I guess technically it's a skill that could trigger in team trials and give us a little extra score. Let's do it just in case. And then I guess Sharp Gaze is also kind of like... It's a late surger skill. It activates and gives points in team trials. And there are also things that work in career races. So we're Aptitude C. That's a bad start. We're under Stam Cap. That's a bad start. We're definitely under Speed Cap. That's a bad start. We're not expecting good things from this race. We're not getting good things from this race. We finished 12 lengths behind. However, we're through the weird part of our career. And technically you only have to run in the Kikuka show. You don't even have to do that well in it. But the better you do in it, the more stats you get. So we're incentivized to try and do well at it if we want to. Burst on Guts is not what we want to do. That's a crazy speed training. We'll just go ahead and take that, if you don't mind. That's another crazy speed training. I'll just go ahead and take that, if you don't mind. And then we want to wit 1 time, and then we want to train 1 time, and that's like an ideal last 4 turns. What is our unique level up like? We'll take speed out of that. We're only at 43. Probably should have been paying a little more attention to that. We could... There's a G2 sprint on late December that we could run. Let's schedule that in for now. I really don't want to burst on power. All of these trainings look fairly bad. This seems like a good turn to just wit, get a little bit of energy back. And then we'll take a look at what our trainings are like on late December. If this is like a double or triple rainbow speed, I'd take it. I don't think any of these are good enough to warrant us not just going and running a G2. And because it's a sprint, we can go ahead and pick up sprint straightaways, because we have a lot of sprints coming in senior year. So we'll go ahead and book that in. And then let's go knock out the Hanshin Cup. This is a race we've won before, so we don't have a potential trophy unlock here. Very nice. I don't think that gets us all the way to fan threshold, but I think it... Oh, it doesn't even take care of Valentine's. I need to find another G2 to run in the next 2 turns. We should have paid a little more attention to that at the end of the year. Team is looking okay. Mile is starting to get sorted out. Sprint is definitely not sorted out, but we don't have the option to take middle anymore. We have to take top every time until the end of the run. At least if we want to maximize our stats at the end. A 5 win is lovely. And let's jump into senior year. We have a slate of sprints and miles to run, and then we have 1 2,000 meter race at the end of the year. We should be more than fine on stamina by the time we get to that. That's a great speed training. I'd really like to take it. Am I passing up a G2? I'm passing up a medium G2. A second medium G2 that's only 2,200. I think I need to schedule you. We should have enough stamina to finish at 2,200 at this point. So we can take this training, we can see what we get from the raffle to get energy back, we can run into G2, we should have enough fans, we win the Takamatsu no Maya Kinan, and then we have enough fans. This should all work out for us, assuming we can win these 2 races. Bushel of Carrots is perfect. We get a little bit of an attribute bump out of that as well. What are we passing up on trainings? We're passing up a single rainbow speed, a single rainbow power, a wit that I would take on pretty much any other turn except this one, but I would really like to run a race to hit fan threshold and level our unique up. Okay, good. By 5 lengths, good sign that we are ready to run the Autumn Tenno. -20 is fine, I can deal with that. There's level up number 1. We need 4,000 more fans to level up number 2. We should get that taken care of in this sprint race. This is not a good wit training, but it does build a lot of spirit training, which is interesting to me. And we're only 18% to fail, so this training should pull our failure chance down to like 10%. I think I'm okay taking that, and maybe we see an energy recovery event. I would be totally pleased with that. Energy? Speed plus 20? I'll take speed plus 20 as well. That's also fine. It's an interesting power training, but I don't need power right now. We definitely brought too many power cards in this deck. I think at least one of those power cards needs to be a 4th speed card. And I also think none of these trainings are actually good enough to take, so this seems like a good turn to just rest and get energy back. Even just getting 30 back is fine. A double speed training is perfect. It's exactly what we want to be doing. I don't think we need to train speed again for the rest of the run, honestly. Or power. I don't think we need to train power again for the rest of the run. We're going to wind up at like 420 stamina. Maybe even close to 500 because we have another inheritance coming still. That's going to be plenty. And it's also a pretty good indication that we brought more power cards than we really needed. We don't need any skills. As long as you don't completely bin this race, we're fine. That is... Oh no, that's so bad that we need to alarm clock it. Okay, let's hope it was a block. Because the stat should be fine. Yeah, okay, we just got unlucky with a block. That is fan threshold number 2. And then each of these 3 races are fairly high on fan count, so that should be fan threshold number 3 for the end of the year. I think everything has been sorted out. All we need to see at this point are good speed trainings and good wit trainings. And we should have ourselves a pretty decent Team Trials runner. URA Finale Spark is great. That is putting us to... Show me the stamina. 406. We're going to get about 60 by the end of the career. Each of these career goals is going to give like another 4. I think we're going to wind up at around 500 stamina. Which is over the target that I set. Just take wit here to preserve energy. I want to try and avoid resting for the rest of this career, basically. In order to get our wit as high as it can go. Like, all of these trainings are very bad, but I don't need the energy that desperately. I can just continue to roll on wit here. Because we know we're going to be training wit more often, I can play a little more recklessly with how often I choose to wit, because I can kind of bank in that energy coming through later. This isn't a power training that we take, because we don't need stamina to go up any higher, and speed is going to pull power up pretty significantly, so we just take wit again. And then if we're not full energy by late June, then we might think about resting, just to top up right before the start of summer break. We don't need stamina, so we take speed and guts. Good speed training, so now we take speed, we run the Yasuda Kinan, and then we rest late June. That's Team Rank A. At least our spirit training has been going fine. We don't need Redshift. We don't need any of these green skills. We'd love to see a few more hints for Corner Adapt before we pick that up, because that's fairly expensive. We could pick up Gap Closer later on. We're never going to need Huge Lead. There's not really anything else in there for us right now. Just jump into the Yasudakina. We should be fine here. Stats are A-okay. There you go. She's actually won pretty much every race outside of the Derby and outside of the Kikuku show, which were stam issues, which is nice. We've gotten fairly lucky with not getting blocked, I think. Except for the one race that we had to spend an alarm clock on, but still. Have we bought Outer Swell yet? No. I would love to have Outer Swell, I think, because you're late surger specific. Yeah, I will happily take that, because we don't have that unlocked yet. And then this needs to be a rest. As good as that wit training is, this needs to be a full rest. So that we can come into summer break with full energy. Next Unity Cup round, we should be looking okay. I mean, we're Team Rank A right now, which should be a pretty strong sign that we're doing alright. This will move us to rank 5, and the prediction looks great. Good. 4-1. We're into summer break. And again, all we really want to do here is wit. We want to wit unless we see rainbows on speed, and then we take speed. That's basically our heuristic for the rest of this entire run. As good as this power training is, it just doesn't do that much for me. I would rather save the energy to make sure I can train on speed. I don't want to pull my stamina up that high. Let's just keep preserving energy, building wit, and then when we see good speed trainings, we can take them. Burst on Guts is also not really what I want to be doing. It is interesting, but it's not really what I want to be doing. I would rather burst on speed. Wow, no speed rainbows. That is unfortunate. I would spend a little bit of energy on it anyway, just to get some stats out of it, and then it also gives a little bit of spirit training to Palmer. But that's a pretty unlucky summer break, unfortunately. That's starting to improve things, but not enough for my liking. We're really starting to enter into a territory at the end of this run where we are not spending energy efficiently, but we're spending energy for the sake of building attributes because our earlier trainings just have not been very lucky. We've been planning for, you know, double and triple speed trainings to show up, and by and large they haven't, which is a deck issue, and it is something I can fix. But it's something that we weren't necessarily planning for. Just take a rainbow wit training to get some energy back, do some spirit training. We'll get some wit out of this because I don't want to lose energy. We'll go win the Autumn Tenno. Phenomenal. She's done everything right in her career, as far as races go. That's all goals completed. Here we go. Now we're talking. I'll take a double speed. Put us to 823. Put us to S rank speed for the team. This is likely to be a rest or a wit. It's not a bad wit. So if we take wit here, we can train one more turn early December and then we rest late December. I don't mind the way that would shake out. It's not a great speed training, but I think I'll take it because my plan is to rest late December anyway. I would also really like some bursts to line up on speed here sometime soon. Also, the more I look at where our speed is right now, the more I'm thinking we may not need 4 speed cards. We may want to go like 3 speed, 2 wit, and 1 power. Because I think our speed is going to maybe hit 1100 if we're lucky. And our RNG has not been that great. There is definitely... Wow, it's double circles in all 5 categories. We are guaranteed to lose. Never mind. Holy cow, this is a strong team. Okay. Sure. Show me Team Rank S. We're going to have to deal with them in the finals, which is worrying. Because I think we're going to be in a medium finals. Can I please get like 1 burst on speed? I don't feel like I'm asking for too much. I'm going to take Wit here, even though the Wit is horrible. Because I expect that our deck should be able to produce rainbow speed trainings. We've built the deck to produce rainbow speed trainings, and I am going to choose to believe that in the last 2 turns of this career, it will be able to do so. Here's win number 1. Okay, good start. Great start. What did I say we were going to hit for speed? 1100? That's maybe a little optimistic. But if we replace a power card with a second wit card, wit training pulls up speed. This deck is not as far off as I thought. Which is interesting. Oh my god. We're wasting so many bursts, but it's a good speed training. I think there's like 3 spirit bursts that we just haven't spent this run. Because they never showed up on the right stat. Take a look at skills. We'll pick up It's On at this point. We'll pick up Outer Swell at this point. Pick up Gap Closer at this point. We need to save enough for Nimble Navigator, so I think 175 should get us there. Let's just chill on that, so that we can buy Nimble Nav at the end if we manage to win this race. This is a 2200 medium race. But we know that we can finish those because we did a 2200 medium at the start of senior year, so we know we have the SAM for it. What we don't know is whether we have the stats for it. Especially to beat the Zenith duo. So we'll find out. Even if we don't beat the duo, I think this has been a surprisingly good run. Given that I don't think our trainings have been particularly lucky, and I think we identified a flaw with deck construction fairly early on in the run. There's definitely margins for improvement here, which is interesting. I also talked a big game about how hard King Halo's career was, and then really just, like, breezed through it. But trust me, it's a difficult career, and I think we just got very lucky. We're getting close to pace down ending, and she's really making up good ground to take advantage of that. Just keep making progress here. I would really like you to get in front of all of... Oh god, that's a fast-moving gold chip already. It's a really fast-moving gold chip. Let's see how we do in late race here. I don't... Well, no, maybe she is accelerating at the same speed everybody else is. That's a beautiful time for Slick Surge to go off. She's not blocked, but man, does she have a long way to go to get to the front. That is looking like a difficult distance to close. I'm still going to alarm clock it. I think there's a chance here. But that is a big margin to come in third by. That does not look like something that's just random chance. Let's see how these other two go. Second is a slight improvement by 1 3/4 lengths, but this is our last alarm clock. 6th, that's substantially worse. That's quite a bit worse. I'm going to assume that we got blocked. So not quite enough to get past Zenith at the end. Which is too bad, because I really felt like we were on a winning trajectory with that run. But at least we still get the skill hint for no stopping me. And we can afford it, and it takes us to just 10. So that's a very good spend of resources. Let's go ahead and complete career and see where the rank winds up at. It's B+, extremely close to A. Only 100 points or so off of A. Sparks are not great, though. 999 speed. It's definitely good enough for team trials, because we don't have another sprinter option right now. But I think that deck could be improved pretty substantially by switching out probably Hishi Amazon for a second Wit card. Probably Marvelous Sunday specifically, because we don't need the hint for Pace Chaser off of Fine Motion. So let's slot you in, and then we'll move on to Chores. Gonna bump our team rank up to 125. Let's go touch base with our promotion line. We're still above promotion line, and this addition is only going to help. Let's see what our score is looking like now. Ah, quick mode. That's okay, I'll just click through these fast. Okay. Sure. Good. Good. Okay. That's not going to be a high score. I don't think, anyway. Yeah, no. Not a high score. However, definitely room for improvement if we're dropping 2 races. We just need to wait until we get paired up against somebody who doesn't know what stamina thresholds are. And then we should be in great shape. That's not going to be it. The thing that I think people tend to forget about team trials is that you only need to be good one time. You don't need a consistently good team trials team. You just need a team that can occasionally do something like that to get you one big score for the week. I mean, that wasn't really that big of a score, but you get the idea. You only need your team trials team to get lucky one time to hit promotion line. And then however else they do on like an average day isn't really that much worth worrying about. Fine, we should have one more. Yeah, one more. I still gotta find a third sprint runner too. I don't think I have one. It's the kind of thing we might need to pull on trainees for again to hit air grooves specifically. Alright, so we're not going to improve on our team trial score, but that's okay because we already cranked out one that put us above promotion line. So as long as we can defend that spot, we're good to get promoted next week. We don't run the Teo show ever, so let's buy that. In fact, we've never won the Teo show, so definitely buy that banner. Mile races we do all the time. Let's also do our daily races. We'll continue building money. Show me rating. Show me my Heart Taiki shuttle. Good. Grab some star pieces, grab alarm clocks. What's the banner today? The Hanshin JF, we run that all the time. Medium shoes, we do those all the time. Go take care of our legend races. And this we're using our gold ship for. That's the medium gold ship. Do you use the medium gold ship or the long gold ship? Hey, really what you should use is the special week, because she's built for longs, and this is a long. So let's do that. I don't remember which gold ship is which, but this special week should do fine. She does not do fine? Okay, we'll be making an adjustment. we're going to go back to using the gold chip. We don't do longs that often, so I would pick up long shoes. The JBC Classic we also don't do that much. I would pick that up as well. And then let's see if we can lock in on this race. Just take this gold chip. It should be enough stamina to finish. Don't think it's worth using a parfait on. Yeah, okay. We should just run gold chip every time for this, apparently. We still get the same amount of star pieces whether we win or lose, but it's a little bit of extra money if we win. And I think sometimes support points as well. So we might as well try to if we can. Good. And then we also need to go check in on our club. So we'll grab all of our special missions. That should be all of our dailies done. We did a career today. We need to check in on club. We need to do a shoe request, and then we should be done. I apologize if it seemed like I was rushing in this video. It's pretty late here. I just had a busy Friday and didn't have time to get around to this recording until pretty late in the night. So I am looking to finish this up relatively quickly just so I can go to bed. But we'll be back next time. Let's also make sure we grab our extra 2 tickets because I'm going to use those up later. We'll be back next time to see how we do in future rounds of the Sagittarius Cup. We may try and build one more Team Trials runner, or one more just CM runner. If you're interested in seeing me try and build something that's not special week, let me know in the comments. We could put together a second purpose-built runner, see if it improves our results so far. But I think we might have a decent shot at making it to one of the finals. You know, B finals, maybe. A finals, unlikely, but it's possible. We'll just see how the rest of those rounds shake out. If you have any other questions, comments, etc. about Uma, let me know in the comments. And if you're enjoying these videos, do make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, ring the notification bell. All metrics that I'm using on my end to figure out what you guys think about this and whether you're enjoying it. But till then, I've been Chef, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.